Sit down, shut your mouths,
and watch The Gift of Gabe. Yo, party peeps, what is up? It's your boy, the best capper in the biz. Oh my god, what a go-home show, Dynamite for All Out. This night was absolutely great, but that ending was peak pro wrestling. Just, oh my god, guys, we gotta gab about it right now. I mean, just, Hangman really burned Swerve's whole world to the ground. You heard the chants at the end of the show going off the air like, this is wrestling. Because that was peak pro wrestling shit right there. Fulfilling that promise since he came back to burn his entire world all around to the ground. Swerve just agonizing in pain. You can just hear him. He's like, you son of a bitch. I'll fucking kill you. You son of a bitch. And he's just like losing his shit. And Hangman, meanwhile, is just sitting there. He didn't even flinch, drinking that shot, sitting back like the fires aren't even going around. That was like a symphony to his ears. That shit was phenomenal. I know not everybody loves Hangman. A lot of us do love Hangman. Like, it's a very small minority of people that like don't love Hangman. Like, no one loves every pro wrestler like 100%. It's just there's never been anyone. But dude, you cannot deny. You look at the very top AEW feuds. You can tie it at number 1. It can be 1 and 2. I don't care. Hangman Adam Page has a grip over the top 2 spots of the greatest AEW feuds ever. Hangman versus the Elite, Hangman versus Swerve. Bro, it's just insane. It's just insane. Like, this feud has been so great. And it's not going to end this Saturday. It's not going to be over. But Hangman is winning this shit. He is winning this shit. Like, I know some people might be like, Swerve can't lose for like a second straight PLE, or like this Swerve, it has to make Swerve. The story is about Swerve finally beating with no help. Like, no, dude. It is about Hangman finally getting this dub. It's about Hangman getting the dub. Like, and then the feud won't be over, but I guarantee you this. Hangman's gonna beat Swerve. He's gonna beat his ass. And then the last shot you're going to see is Hangman walking out, and then Swerve just like laying all over the map, bloody. And I guarantee we don't see him for like a month. And then Hangman's just like, I took out Swerve. He's gone. He's done. It's over. Honestly, I could see that Hangman going after the world title against Danielson, beating his ass, retiring him, and putting him out the pasture. And then maybe right after that, that's when Swerve comes. And then that's when Swerve comes back at Tacoma, Washington to that huge pop. And it's like, oh shit. He's back. Hangman Swerve full gear. Hangman wins again, but then we're tied at 2-2. 2-2-1 officially. And then, like I said before, once we're at that point, you wait again a while, like you did before, like you started the feud back up again. Wait a little while. We settle this one last time. Hangman and Swerve to decide, like, really what this feud's been about at its core originally, and that's just like who's like the best. But Hangman is 1,000% winning this Saturday. He burned his house to the ground. You don't lose after doing that. You don't. Hangman literally had to watch Swerve like stand above his freaking kid's crib. And then Swerve won that Texas death match. This is like that times a million. So Hangman is not losing this match. He's winning. So just, god dang it, bro. This is peak pro wrestling. That was so awesome. Oh, I'm just so glad I got to just be alive for that moment, because this rivalry, just like Hangman's rivalry with the Elite, has been just peak pro wrestling cinema. And it's going to be capped off with a round of applause when we're giving Hangman that after he beats Swerve this Saturday inside a steel cage, because that's some cowboy shit right there. Guys, tonight the Go Home show had a lot of great moments. We had an electric trios match, which freaking saw the aftermath, Pac hitting a brainbuster on some crates to Will Ospreay.
You got knocked the fuck out!
We got the tag title match made between BCC and the Young Bucks. Holy shit, that is going to be awesome. But we kicked off tonight with Daniel Garcia and MJF in a great promo segment, laying the groundwork for those two to beat the shit out of each other at All Out this Saturday. It's going to be awesome. It's not going to be the end of the feud by a long shot. I can see it going either way. I think Garcia is going to end up winning this feud. I 1,000% think this is where it's going. I think they're going to have a 2-match series. I brought up before. They're going to do it at All Out and at Wrestle Dream. Probably split. So maybe MJF wins this one. Like maybe like he steals it somehow. Like Garcia's just so obsessed with revenge that like Garcia literally just like gets screwed by MJF just stealing one. And then we come back at Wrestle Dream, fight with some sort of stipulation, and Garcia beats them. Done and done. Moves on to maybe like challenge for the international title or something. Like, I don't know. That would probably make sense as the next step. Or maybe in the TNT title. Shall wait and see. But that match is going to be incredible. The segment was phenomenal. I thought Garcia was actually going to get to MJF for a second, but wham! Freaking bottle right to the head, all bloody. And Mariah May started a freaking trend of kissing the bloody forehead to people. So, it's just freaking crazy. Dude, like that segment was dope, and I cannot wait for the actual match. Like, Garcia was holding himself on the mic, like, perfectly. The turkey hairline was so funny because so many people have been mocking MJF for that recently, and that shit was just golden. I can't wait for it. This is not going to be an in-ring mat wrestling classic. This is going to be a straight-up fight, and I can't wait for the match and the rest of this feud because this ain't no dancing, this ain't no party, and this is Red Death Daniel Garcia, and he's coming to beat MJF's ass. But I do have a feeling that possibly at All Out, temporarily, MJF proves once again to Garcia that he's better than him, and he knows it, and, you know, for that, you can thank him later. You guys, tonight we saw Continental title action. It was Okada versus Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher showing out again in another great match, but Okada is still the Continental Champion. Quick side note, Grand Slam Australia is coming up. I just want to throw like a quick prediction in there, like wishful thinking, whatever. I would have Kyle Fletcher win the TNT Championship at Grand Slam Australia. That would be such an effing moment. Like, he keeps getting more over and over with the crowd because he's just that special. And it's hilarious because this was originally Sammy Guevara's spot in the Don Callis family, and this is what they wanted for him. But, you know, got hurt with concussion, like, right after joining the Don Callis family. Gave it to Kyle Fletcher, and look where he is. So, it's just a quick thing. Not really a hot take, but, like, it's in my take on, and maybe hope for Kyle Fletcher win the TNT Championship at Grand Slam Australia. 1,000% deserves it. Anyway, coming back to the original point, Okada will have to defend his Continental Championship in a fatal 4-way match at the pay-per-view this Saturday, All Out. The competitors basically are going to be, you know, unless some sort of chicanery happens, I think it's going to be Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and the Beast Mortos versus Konosuke Takeshita. That is going to be such a match. But Takeshita is 1,000% going to win, and we finally saw it tonight. Takeshita and Okada, they didn't work face to face, but they were like staring at each other from across because Takeshita was like, bro, you just beat my boy. This ain't over. I'm getting a shot this Saturday, bro. We are going to do this. So, ultimately, I'm just going to say this. I think Takeshita is going to be the one to beat Okada for that Continental Championship. And this is the biggest reason why. One, because he deserves it. They sent him away in New Japan to kill it in the G1 so they can come back and get the mega push. Just like Eddie Kingston, but this one's like even bigger because he went farther in that tourney. But the reason I think, the biggest one, I think why Takeshita's win on top of just deserving it, is I think because Kenny Omega, when he comes back, like the Continental title doesn't really need to be on Okada for that. If anything, it kind of will give away a spoiler of like who would win between the two, and we kind of really don't want that. So, depending on when Kenny comes back, I can see this go multiple ways. If Kenny's going to be ready to wrestle by Full Gear, then I think we get, at All Out, we get Takeshita not getting pinned, and Okada ends up winning, and like they have the same thing they had tonight. And Okada's like kind of sweating a bit because Takeshita will be like, dude, I had you. And then we run it back at Wrestle Dream. Now, if Kenny's back by Full Gear, then I would have like Kenny maybe kind of screw Okada, and Takeshita become the new Continental Champion at Wrestle Dream. Boom, done and done. If he's not going to be ready by then I would have Okada win that match at Wrestle Dream, have Takeshita work his way in to the Continental Classic, which he 1,000% should be in, and then we get in the finals Takeshita versus Okada, and Takeshita there gets the redemption, beats Okada, and becomes the new Continental Champion and just goes on a tear. Basically, no matter what, I think Takeshita is winning the Continental Championship off of Okada this year, he's going to pin him in the center of that ring. It's either going to be at Wrestle Dream or it's going to be in the Continental Classic. It really just depends on when Kenny is going to be able to come back and fight Kazuchika Okada in this feud, like Dream feud in the U.S. from their glorious feud back in New Japan. But, God, dude, like, that little tease of the face-off, bro, gave me tingles. And, man, it is going to be a moment. Just get the monitor ready. Oh, yeah. Got the chills. Oh, yeah. It's like The Rock. When Takeshita pins Okada in the middle of that ring before this year is done. And the Alpha becomes the champion. Okay, you guys, that is Dynamite. We are done, ski. Put it in the rearview mirror. We are done. Great freaking go-home show. We got such an amazing All-Out coming up. Last year's All-In got topped by this year's All-In, and last year's All-Out's about to get topped by this year's All-Out. Because, dude, it's just freaking awesome. And the main event looks to be Swerve Hangman inside a steel cage, rightfully so. Their Texas death match, I mean, MJF and Jay White should have had to follow that shit. That shit was insane. But now no one is going to have to do that this time because Hangman is going to be the main event versus Swerve. And we got Danielson versus Jack Perry with this whole Darby Allin, Jon Moxley thing looming. Like, what the hell is still going on there? I'm still intrigued, as a lot of us are. But guys, before we get to then, actually, I'm not going to be doing a SmackDown vid this week. I'm like barely going to like be home from work like right before the show ends. So there will not be a show. Like, maybe like I'll probably catch the end, so I'll probably say something on my TikTok about like what happened at the end of the main event. We'll probably find out who the next number one contender, hopefully not Solo, is for the WWE Championship at Bad Blood, or really start to get there. So the next time I will see you guys is after the incredible All-Out pay-per-view that we're gonna have this Saturday night. I cannot freaking wait. It's gonna be another legendary night for AEW because they just don't miss when it comes to providing the best pro wrestling on the planet. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. It was awesome. Keep liking, keep subscribing, and most importantly, keep on remembering that when it comes to talking wrestling, who better to gab with than Gabe right here. Okay guys, I will see you after an incredible All Out that I'm sure will go down this Saturday. So until then, deuces puces, and I'll see you guys after Hangman versus Swerve in the main event. Later.